Hey friends, welcome back to the Destination Baby and Kids YouTube channel. I am Gina. I'm here with you today to go over a brand new stroller option from NUNA. That's going to be this stroller on my right, this black one. This is the Demi Next. So this is brand new from NUNA. And then the hazelwood color that I have over here in front of myself, this is going to be the Demi Grow. So Demi Grow is the old version of the stroller. Demi Next is the new version of the stroller. So what makes them different? Let's launch right into it. Both of these strollers were sold and are selling for $950. So I do believe that the Demi Grow is now on sale because obviously it's the older model. But when it was the only option, it did retail for $950. And what did you get with that? For that $950, you got the stroller, you got a set of adapters for the lower position called post adapters. You got a ring adapter for the top for your car seat called the ring adapter. The seat unit obviously came with it. And then you also got a second canopy. So NUNA included a canopy that had a mosquito netting on it. You would swap out what this one was, I believe, called Sunny Days canopy for the mosquito netting canopy for when you wanted to use it. So it was definitely like a nice feature that they included that. It probably just would have made sense to redesign the canopy to utilize all the features simultaneously instead of having two separate things that we have to keep track of. But I digress. When this one got extra sunny, you had this piece that would come down and cover over the front. So it definitely was luxurious and it would cover the sun, but I don't know how practical that is compared to some of the other styles. And you'll see on the Demi Next, which is the newer model, they've sort of combined all the features from the canopies and made it into one updated canopy. So that's one new thing over here that's pretty nice. We'll get into that in 1 second. The old model, as you see here on Demi Grow, also is going to have the removable seat liner. So something that NUNA is known for is that their stroller seats have a mesh back and then a liner in front of the mesh back. So that way, if you want it extra cool, you can remove the liner. The child can be sitting directly with the mesh surrounding them. Or if you want, you can leave the liner in and it can you know, be a nice option to collect anything that's gross that you want to wash. So something that was weird about Demi Grow always was their liner zippered in. The other models of NUNA strollers, it would just sit in the stroller seat and usually have some type of Velcro attachment. This one zipped in. The other thing I was not fond of on this model is that the batting for the seat was so thick that if you did want to wash it, it would take a considerable amount of time to thoroughly and completely dry. So it's like a liner is useful provided that it's washable. This one is washable, but the amount of time that it would take to dry was kind of irritating. The other thing that's going to be different, and we'll get into it, is that the basket on this older model only holds 10 pounds. The basket on the new model will hold 20. So the size of the basket is actually pretty comparable. I do have the back posts on the tan one, but the basket sizes are comparable, as you can see. I would just say the Demi Next is going to have a basket which can hold more weight, the 20 pounds, versus the tan one is only going to hold 10 pounds. What good is it to have a big trunk if you can't shove a bunch of stuff in it and use it? So that's a really nice upgrade that they've done on the new model. Now, something else that you may notice, I'm going to do it like this. A criticism that I always got of the Demi Grow was that the seat was always slightly reclined, meaning there wasn't an additional upright seated position for older kids. The new version, which is the black one here, sits more upright. So this guy is definitely going to sit in 4 positions. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Whereas the old style is just 3. So this is the most upright it'll go. So this is position 1, position 2, position 3. So these two can be identical if I recline it back slightly, but as you can see, you do have a more upright seated situation going on the Demi Next than you do on the Demi. Now Demi Next, as I pointed out, has the liner which will totally Velcro out, come out. You still get the ventilated mesh on the back, but this liner, the material is really soft. It's the same material that's on, let's say, like the Pippa infant insert. So it's that really soft material that is flame retardant free and is in, I think it's merino wool, if I'm not mistaken, but it's really, really soft and nice. The new liner is definitely a step up from the old style, so I'm gonna give them credit for that as well. I think that's a really great improvement. And like I was saying before, a more useful canopy with a gusset, a zipper, opening up and more complete. And then the mosquito netting that we were talking about before is actually integrated into the canopy. So now it's gonna come over. I can snap it up. I'm just gonna do the one side, mainly because I'm lazy. But as you can see, you get full mosquito netting coverage with this model as well. And you don't have to switch the canopy over. So I think that's a really nice feature that they've just integrated everything into being a more useful, relevant canopy for the consumer. So good job, NUNA. You haven't let me down. Now, they both come with a rain shield. Amazing. Let's talk about why, again, these are special. So as I was saying before, we have the option, I'm going to show on the tan one, to be able to take an infant car seat that's made by the same manufacturer. So this is a NUNA Pippa Light RX infant seat, and I'm going to stick it on the bottom down here. I already have the post adapters hooked up. So this shows one option for a little baby and an older child. And then I will get people, let me get the other adapter that it comes with. I'll get people that don't want to use it this way. Their preference would be to have the baby on top and the older child on the bottom position. You can do that as well. I'm going to remove this. And just to show, this can also be a system for twins. So if we want 2 car seats on here, they do include both sets of those adapters. The ring adapter and the post adapter are included in the purchase price. The black one is going to do this as well. So these are identical in terms of functionality with these pieces. So car seat adapters, they can work for 2 kids of the same age. Oh, we wanted to show the option for the reverso changeo. So let me take this off really quickly. We'll remove this car seat. We'll remove the post adapters. And now the big kid seat that was sitting on the top, maybe they want to sit low. I will say that I see people shopping this way all the time. I think it's because kids like to sit in this low position. It's totally counterintuitive. I understand that it seems like a lie, but little kids like to sit down there because they can get in and out by themselves and they can see what's going on. Anybody that argues, I would encourage them to actually crouch down and look to see what their sight line looks like, because they do get a pretty decent amount of visual even though they're in the lower position. So you have the option for the car seat low or the big kid seat on the low, or either one on top. So out of the box, it's going to do all of that. The car seat, of course, is sold separately, but it comes with 2 adapters and the stroller seat. So that's going to be the same on both. I'm also just going to briefly show the stroller set up with both of the older kids' seats, because people ask me all the time, how will it look with 2 seats? So now we can show you. Oh, cool. So this seat clearly clicks onto the old frame and sits more upright. I don't know if when you buy the second seat for the Demi, if they're gonna be like, which version do you have? But it's nice to see that it does click on either version of the frame, it looks like. So if you get a double seat, that's the newer seat, or the older seat, they should be interchangeable. But this shows with 2 kids. The other benefit of this stroller that none of the other single to doubles that are stadium seating have is if you have 2 kids that are forward facing and they pass out, this is the only stroller where they can both recline simultaneously without flipping the seats completely around. So you don't have to scoop your kid out, put them on the ground, turn the seat around, put your kid back in, and now they can recline. what a nightmare. The Demi Grow is really the only one when they're already forward facing. So this is a more meaningful recline. Irrespective of what anybody else tells you, I think that that's a nice feature. So Demi Grow and Demi Next both do all of this. So why do I like the Demi Next better? Obviously better canopy, better liner. It has the better canopy, better liner, more upright seated position, which we definitely appreciate. And the more upright seated position is going to lead into the next part of this. The other thing you'll notice too is on the very front of the stroller. This guy is fabric all the way down. On the Demi Next, you actually have a plastic footwell here on the bottom. So if you have a child that is trying to climb in or out, they're going to be able to do it more easily here, and you'll be able to keep it clean better. So that's a really nice feature. I'm gonna move this back up. All right, apples to apples. When we were talking about this Demi Next, the newer version, having the more uprighted seated position, who cares? Why would it matter? Little kids do like to sit very upright, but you can probably still shove them in here and they'll be fine. But let's be real. What benefit is there to me with a more upright seat? Well, let me show you. I'm just gonna get rid of this one because this is not really critical to our conversation anymore. Older model. So with Demi Next, something that's included, instead of the bizarre second canopy, they give you a relevant accessory. This is a standing riding board, a little skateboard for an older kid. This will hold up to 50 pounds. So each seated position holds 50 pounds. The rider board also holds 50 pounds. The rider board will deliberately click onto the lower set of anchor attachments that are included on the stroller. So you don't have to put anything on it. This is just gonna click directly onto those posts that are on there. And with this redesigned basket, there's a wire piece down at the bottom that'll just drop down. And now we have an older kid standing and riding here, and we can still have a kid up to 50 pounds sitting in the stroller. My sister and I are 4 years apart, so this would have been a complete dream for my mother because my sister was so interested in baby. You could have your infant seat and your older child standing and riding, or if you want, you can have the stroller seat on here and enough space for them to stand and ride. If that seat is reclined, it's gonna cut into where they're standing. So having that additional upright position is a really sweet feature in conjunction with the footboard. That's included. There was no price jump on this product, so it's still $950, but now you get the rider board. If you have the older version of the Demi, so the Demi Grow, will that rider board connect onto the Demi Grow? No, it will not. I tried multiple ways to get it to click on. It's not gonna happen. So it's not meant to be sold, the rider board, as a separate SKU. It's not its own thing. It's only available when you buy the Demi Next. Now, if you have the Demi Grow and you really wanna put a rider board on it, I can show you a bunch of different rider boards that would work on there. They are not made by NUNA. The thing that's so great about staying in brand or having something that's designed for it is that you're gonna be able to fold the whole thing with it on there as well. So I'm taking the car seat adapter off because like that's a small piece and obviously it's gonna fold with that on it. The bigger benefit would be to see how it actually folds with the big stroller seat on it. So all you do is kick that rider board up into the basket, you know, adjust your handle so that it'll stand, engage the folding mechanism, and now it's standing on its own while it's folded. Granted, you know, it's not the world's smallest fold, but it is completely manageable. It's probably about 32 to 35 pounds with all the stuff on it. So it's able to do all that. It will stand. There is a lock. You engage the lock to open it. And it just opens up super easily. And you're back to having both your kids riding. So you can get out of Dodge and start living your life again. So, yeah, Demi Next, $9.50. This is a really sweet option. I have to say, NUNA's like done an incredible job with this. The rider board is sick. They claim they were never gonna do one. Now they have one. And it's for the stroller that it makes the most sense for it to be on. They're single to double. This is still my favorite option for 2 kids, just in terms of the way it pushes. I like the inline double. It's not everybody's favorite, but it's definitely mine. Yeah, so if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Please feel free to hit like and subscribe. If this video makes sense to share with someone who's currently expecting, please feel free to do that as well, okay? Thank you so much for watching. I'm Gina. I hope we will see you in our next video. Enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.